Jam with Sam. Jam with Sam.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin. I would think a very important episode of Jam with Sam today, and I would like to begin this episode by all of you who I would like you to clap for Mr. Sampath here, because it is the 15th episode of Jam with Sam. Congratulations,
Thanks.
Sam.
Thanks, Nandu.
It's been quite a journey,
Yep.
and I'm really proud to be associated with it right from the very, very beginning.
Same here.
I would like to begin first by letting you know a bit about who Sam is, for those of you who don't know. Anybody here who really doesn't know him? But there could be some tidbits out there which you could use to blackmail later. Sampath Iyengar has been in the IT industry for the last 22 years, having his own company, Sam7 Computers. He started yet another company very recently, Neo-Social 7 Media Solution, just 3 years back, which handles the social media of various small and medium businesses. He has customers like Morpheus Life Sciences, BNI India, Poda developers, quite a few of them are here, I believe. He also manages the social media accounts for Ramu and Associates. Ramu is here. IQ Vision Care, Rotary District 3140, Revive Lifestyle, Condom Point, BMPA, UBX Invest, Couriers, etc. Are you going to go on and on with this? Come on, I know you're successful.
I'll change it next time.
Now, to explain further, Neo-Social 7 handles their presence across various platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, etc. In January 2012, Sam decided to create an offline event where you're sitting right here now for all his online customers. Here, much like Coffee with Kiran, Sam has Jam with Sam. He interviews 2 business entrepreneurs every month who share their life stories, goals and achievements, both professional and personal. Professional jammers like Neeraj Shah, National Director BNI India, Agnello Rajesh Athaid from St. Agnello Computers, Tushar Singhat, MD D-Link India, Karen Shiva from Ideal Pro, Vivek Mendonca from Lawrence and Bayer, just some of the people that I've had the pleasure of seeing here. And we're going to get many, many, many more. He's also a Rotarian for the last 18 years from the Bombay Sea Coast and is in the Rotary District 3140, heading the digital media position for the next 3 years. I think it's just begun, right? Your term?
It began last year.
Okay. He's also a BNI member from the Alpha chapter for the last 8 years, almost like me.
Yes.
Okay, so let's begin our Jam with Sam today with our first jammer. And he's none other than Kiran Ajwani. Give him a big hand. Come, Kiran. Kiran is an independent business and leadership coach, having his own practice since 2005. He's over 19 years of work, okay, which includes 5 years of sales experience in the telecom industry with Philips and Iridium, 6 years of business management experience in the healthcare sector with Johnson & Johnson, and 8 years as a self-employed business and leadership coach. At Johnson & Johnson, Kiran became one of the youngest executives to be given independent charge of a business division, Ortho Clinical Diagnostics. Formation of the division in India during the period 2001 to 2004, and as a result was appointed business leader, India and Korea in 2004. He was a member of the Asia Pacific leadership team, which was responsible for developing J&J's strategy for the diagnostics business in the region. He also handled the additional responsibility of executing J&J's India's contributions program from January 2003 to 2004. Kiran has received formal training in executive coaching at the Indian School of Business, Hyderabad in August 2006 at the faculty for this training was none other than Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, one of the world's most successful executive coaches. Kiran's academic qualifications include a BE Electronics from Mumbai University and an MBA Marketing from NMIMS. Wow, deemed university. So over to Sam and Kiran.
Welcome Kiran to Jam with Sam. So you always been on that side of the table for a long time.
Yes.
So why don't you come a bit close? It's not that Karan Johar kind of stuff over there. So just be close over there. Okay, Kiran. Let's go straight to the point. People want to know about Kiran Ajwani. Educations, passions, adjectives that describe you best.
Let me start with adjectives that describe me best. My perception is that people would consider me to be a serious guy, very straightforward. Like to be precise, clear, to the point, to the extent that I would probably come across as even very cold and just too unbalanced on the straightforward side.
Okay.
So that's what I think the adjectives are. My education, Nandu talked about, I did my engineering in electronics, and I got to the 4th year and then realized I didn't want to be an engineer.
Okay.
So, Three Idiots should have happened long time back. It would have saved me the engineering degree. But nevertheless, I did my engineering and then I realized I didn't want to be a technical guy. So I didn't go abroad like most of my batchmates did for pursuing MS. So I stayed back and I went into the commercial side of things. I got myself an MBA, and thankfully there it wasn't the same. That I did my MBA and I realized I wanted to pursue sales and marketing, and that's what I did. So that's pretty much my academic background.
Okay. Okay.
What else did you ask me?
Family.
Yeah, my
That's
family comprises
your support system.
My support system is like I have another half who completes me brilliantly. Her name is Tanya. She is a company secretary and she has her own independent practice. And I have two very wonderful kids at home, both diametrically opposite each other. I have a 9-year-old, almost 10 now, 10-year-old daughter Ruchi, who's like me, very straight, and I have a 2.5-year-old Divyansh. Divyansh is like an education system by himself. So he's training us. I get trained at home on because this little guy, while he knows what he wants, he is not going to leave any stone unturned to get it.
Okay.
So he will shout, he will scream, and he will nicely cajole you, coax you, and even charm you into getting what you want.
Okay.
So I have this is my support system, and that's what I have at home.
So you are supporting them or they are supporting you?
I guess the right answer is that they are supporting me.
Okay, it's better.
Yeah, because it's quite a joy to get back home every day. Whoever has had kids at that age, you know what it's like. So it's really a joy.
Okay. Business coach. So what do you do as a business coach? Can you share some details about the kind of work you do?
Well, as the name coach suggests, the interest of a coach is to ensure that the person he is coaching becomes better. So, business coach, in terms of business organizations, a leader has two principal responsibilities: to manage his role well, his responsibilities well, and to lead well. And my job as a coach is to make sure that they do their job well. So, the skills that they need, the knowledge that they need, or the know-how that might be missing, my job is to make sure that gets padded into shape.
Okay. Okay.
So I work long-term with business leaders, to help them become better managers and better leaders.
Okay.
That's broadly my interest. So my interest is in helping my clients succeed. If they succeed, then I'm sort of basking in that glory.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Okay. In a country where business and spirit of entrepreneurship runs in the blood, what kind of a role do you see a business coach doing?
Yes, in fact, along the way in the last 7 years, which is what I've been doing, practicing as a business coach, I've had people who said, but why would anybody learn from you? Entrepreneurship means you learn by yourself, you learn by failing. So, how does this add up? But there are still certain areas where you want to, get a new perspective. So let me share with you some assignments that I have worked on. So a typical one nowadays, at least, is in helping a young leader who is probably a technical person, knows his product well, but doesn't know how to, lead a sales team or create a marketing strategy, right? And so in the absence of a good sales and marketing function, you're going to struggle because then you're completely dependent on the high tide of economic growth, and then you're going to struggle against the low tide of economic recession when the tide goes away. But since I worked in J&J and I got grounded in their principles, I realized that company, for example, has had, at the time that I left in 2005, had 40 odd straight years of dividend growth to their shareholders consecutively. And the only reason is because they're so very good at sales and marketing. Right? They are very strong at it. So when you're very strong in sales and marketing, you're going to grow whether the tide is in your favor or even not in your favor.
So mostly what you bring in is a outside perspective, neutral perspective. Like all of us love our company so much, we are so much engrossed in that. You come with an outside view over there, what the guy may not be seeing. Like he may be having blinders on over there, and you come and give a external. So is that something like what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, today in the afternoon with a client, I read a quote on his wall which was sort of interesting. It said, instead of thinking outside the box, just get out of it. Right? But the fact remains that you can't get out of your box. You just can't. Right? I am out of your box because I'm not in your box. So typically my job is to bring that neutral perspective, get you to actually see an helicopter's view. And that comes very naturally to me. So for me, it's not of interest as to what you're going to do in tomorrow, day after. What's of interest to me, like tell me the 3-year picture of the company. Tell me, 3 years ahead, if I go take a questionnaire and go to your customers and ask you about your company, what are the top 3 things they'll tell me about you? So give me the qualitative sense, give me the quantitative sense. So I get that person to really get out of the, day-to-day business issues.
The rut.
Some people enjoy, right?
Yeah,
so it's an enjoyable rut.
I know.
So, but to continue enjoying that is to sort of get a bit of strategic perspective going. So the sales and marketing strengthening, strategic perspectives, including I think one of the roles that I've played is to actually balance out somebody's strength, which becomes a weakness. Right? And that's one of the things I learned through the training program at ISP with Marshall Goldsmith. He talked about his 20-25 years experience in executive coaching in the US, and he's written a book which says what got you here will not get you there. And that book basically says every leader has strengths, but it becomes unbalanced. Over a period of time, that strength itself is going to become your weakness. So I can cite one example of a business owner where it was exactly that. This gentleman, is a very family kind of a guy. I mean, he's so committed to his family. He just loves it, right? Now, how did that carry on to business? He got into distribution of mobile phones with one of the large, mobile phone companies, and they actually helped him become a distributor. That journey went very well for 4 or 5 years until that principal themselves, they had a very, very bad patch. But this gentleman sort of got attached, right? He couldn't get off the journey simply because he felt really obligated. Right? And it's like that whole family. I grow with this family, so if the family has a bad time, I don't leave a sinking ship. So he got into that. But I had to help him to see that that company was in a situation where they could close down. And there's no point, getting sucked into that. So I had to get him back to see that finally he's responsible for his other family, and he has to take some action, notwithstanding what happens to the principal.
Correct.
So there's a third role that I end up playing, that get people to see that while they have a strength, we're playing from it, but it should not get unbalanced.
Okay. As a business coach, what are the typical shortfalls you've come across in Indian SMEs?
Organization building.
Okay.
That's one of the key things that I feel that I won't say it's a shortfall. Right? It's like everybody has a time comes when you move into that gear, right? And the way I look at it now is that it's time for many SMEs to step up.
Okay.
And become brands. So we are a country of 1 billion, right? And in the US, if that's a 300 million population, I think in every sector there are many more brands than that exist in India. So in India today, how long will we depend on the top 1,000 companies to hold the fortunes of everybody, right? We've got to actually the middle guy, the middle over guys, the middle guys have to start stepping up, and to do that they have to really get into organization building effort. So again, from my perspective, good sales and marketing imperative. You will not be able to build excellence in any other function, technical function. You can't keep building overhead, better plant, better processes, ISO, quality system, if you don't have an engine which goes out, keeps getting business, right? And at the same time, if you have an engine like that, then the other part of organization building, HR processes, becoming an organization to work for, a valued organization. So all those, that stuff is, I think, what SMEs are trying to learn.
Okay.
And you don't need the 3 crore SMEs to learn that. It's just the 30,000 SMEs who have to learn that and take to the next level.
What is more tough, cultivating a mindset change or a process change in SMEs, and how do you tackle each of this?
I've learned in my 7 years not to try and change a mindset.
Okay.
I've learned that my role is to facilitate one. So otherwise, when I'm engaging with a client and if I get too close, then I'm sort of starting to say, man, this guy has to change, right? And I can't make him change. So I got to be neutral, be a facilitator, and keep engaging with those guys who are ready to change, right? So I spot. So I'm not trying to influence a mindset change. I'm looking for the fact that whether a circumstance has got created in the business which is telling the leader there has to be some change made.
Okay.
Then he comes, if we get engaged, then my role is to then help him to see what are the changes which need to be made. So I've learned one thing, you can't change people. You just have to accept them the way they are and say, okay, are you ready to change? I'll help you. So that's been my learning.
I think this most wives keeps telling us. My wife, you got to change, you got to change.
Yeah, so if they become coaches, then I think they'll become we'll have an easier path. But I learned that it's equally difficult for me. It's been equally difficult for me. One of my biggest challenges at home is to stop being a coach. Okay. And learn that I'm not a coach. When I get in my door, I'm a husband, right? And that's a different role. So virtually, it has been like a challenge. Take this hat off, take this hat off. So if you got my wife in here, she'll tell you how. When I get started, I can't stop.
Okay. What did a wife say over here? How many wives do you have? My wife is there. She's already smiling over there. Shobna, what do you got to say for that? Your husband is very quiet over there.
So both partners can get some coaching, becoming a coach kind of a skill going. Then life will become a bit better, I think.
Okay. Share some of the challenges about being a business coach.
Right now, for me, the challenge or the challenges that I've encountered. First one was the main one was this: getting too engaged in with the client. Right? Instead of facilitating the journey, almost becoming like an employee there.
Okay. Okay.
Right? That happened in my first few assignments, and then emotional attachments.
Okay.
Which is tough. So you can see where all things can go, right? And you're supposed to facilitate it, but there is a certain speed at which it will happen. It will not happen at the speed that you want unless you want to just take over that role of leadership, and you're not hired to do that. So the second challenge was this whole thing of not getting emotionally attached, and constantly being watchful of what's the value that I need to bring to the table right now. In every session I walk in saying, okay, get grounded. It's not about me, it's about them.
Correct.
It's about their journey. I'm going to help, So remind me constantly about the fact that it's not about me, it's about them. And that is, I'm telling you, it's by far, I'm still learning that. So I've learned, it's like unattachment has levels, I think. So from KG to grade 1 to grade 5. So it's not only math, science that are in grades, unattachment is also in grades.
Okay.
So that's been one of the biggest challenges.
Okay. Share with us an interesting anecdote you had as a business coach and an interesting and life-changing change you managed to cultivate.
Actually, I don't know, interesting anecdote.
Okay, some interesting story you had, or some customer, something very interesting which you found, or some novel customer.
Well, let me just take the second one first.
Okay, fine.
That comes easier for me.
Okay.
Right? So I think that one of the things that I'm extremely proud of was the role that I played in J&J. So that was an executive role, but still, nevertheless, I think I acted more as a coach than it wasn't much different. And the situation was that the division that I got into was pretty much bleeding. Okay, and my boss had, and I joined as the regional sales manager, and my boss was the vice president. Said, we've got about 6 months to tell the management whether it can be turned around or not. And she made it very clear to me that in 6 months you could be looking for a job. Okay. So you're coming on to Johnson & Johnson, but don't look at Johnson & Johnson. I will not be able to get you any other division, but this is the one. And if in 6 months I find out that my recommendation is shut this business down here, then you could be looking for a job. And and she was a great boss for me. And one of the things that she believed very strongly is in recruiting. With a lot of her recruiting had a lot of rigor. So we had some 2 or 3 6-hour sessions of interviewing, right? And in that time frame, I got a sense of what this business could be like. So this is like I'm on the outside, right? But I got a very quick sense, and I jumped in, saying I'm in, right? And that was a huge challenge because I didn't know what I was setting myself in for. So I'm an electronics engineer, and I hated bio, right? That's why I became an electronics engineer. And here I am joining a healthcare business wherein the products are all related to diagnostics, they're testing, blood testing, right? And I don't know much about the technicals. I don't know, my team knows everything about the product, the science. They know cholesterol, glucose, they know, triglyceride, creatinine. I don't know anything, right? And I'm their boss. I'm talking to customers who's an MD pathologist and a blood bank head, and I'm completely dependent on my team. The other challenge was because it was a bleeding business, my boss had actually reduced headcount very quickly, like 50% of the people had to be let go. And so the whole aura in the whole noise level in the market was that these guys must be anyways closing down. Right? That's why it's reducing workforce at a pace. So customers think you're closing down. My team looks at me and says, "What does this guy know? Nothing, right?" And I'm this MBA, and maybe they said that MBA thing. No, they just say money, Baddu average. So they're looking at this skeptically and said, and I could feel that they're just waiting for the ball to drop. That ये बंदा बोल रहा है, and I'm at that age. I mean, it was like I've got, once I get a sense of that it's doable, I'm like jumping in and I'm saying, "Boss, this can be done," right? And I see skepticism. Customers don't know me. I don't know the science. A whole lot of this, right? And and I'm very proud of the fact that I didn't quit that, because I really, had I had a lot of challenge in terms of the fact that, I was leading a team which didn't believe in me for a long while. For about 6-8 months, I had customers who said, you guys will close down. And I had a boss who was depending on me to,
revive the business.
And I'm in Johnson & Johnson, right, by the way, which is Johnson & Johnson, you don't hit your numbers for 3 to 4 months, you better look out anyways. Or maybe in 6 months. So you got to be, on the ball. Right? And that's the challenge, and I'm really glad that I stuck in, and that's when I discovered my whole excitement around business transformation.
Okay.
I really love the fact that I infused a sort of a very impractical approach there, believing in something which was not yet created, right?
Okay.
And I just to cite a very maybe an interesting anecdote was so this management team went had an annual conference, and this is like 6 months in the job, and my boss organized a meeting with some turnaround specialists, consultants, right? And I'm 4 regional sales managers, my boss, vice president, marketing managers. We attended this presentation made by this guy, forgot the name of the company, and he said, we can do this, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. And I'm just like this young guy, and I stand up at the end of the presentation and I said, you know what, we're going to do this with or without you. I don't know how it's going to be done, but it's going to be done. The only thing we are judging here is that how can we get your help in this whole thing. That meeting ended, and my other colleagues, from, still remember this other colleague said, how did you're 6 months into this, how did you make that statement? What causes you to have that belief that this is going to be done? You don't know anything yet. I said, I don't know, I just think it will be done. And I sort of infused that and stuck to it. And there were these moments where I was like, I still remember one day going up to the terrace and almost saying, I knew there was a make or break situation happening, and stuck through that, and it happened. To cut a long story short, that was something that I'm really proud of.
Okay. Small rapid fire round.
Okay.
Okay. One word which comes to your mind. You can't take time to think. It should be instant. Coach.
Love.
Dreams.
Aspiration.
God.
Everywhere.
Entrepreneur.
Stupid.
I have to think. Opportunities. Opportunities.
Abundance. Pass.
Pass. Success.
Better well talk.
Success.
Want it.
Failure.
Learn from it.
As a business coach, what do you have to say about networking?
I can say that it's I think a secret tool that all successful entrepreneurs are using, and the not so successful one have to learn.
Okay.
How to
network.
How to do that, because I think a lot of business happens through that. And while I'm the proponent of a great sales and marketing team, and then once that is built, I will tell the entrepreneur, okay, what about networking? Because that's not the only thing that you do. You do your part, they do their part. So I think it's a secret actually.
Okay.
It's something that is the great networkers know how to do well, and some of us are learning how to get there.
Okay. Your future plans?
I want to, my future plan, let me articulate like this. How many coaches names can you think of from the US?
Marshall Goldsmith.
Marshall Goldsmith.
Then your...
let's throw it open. Successful gurus and coaches from in the US.
Jack Canfield.
Jack Canfield. Robin Sharma.
Deepak Chopra.
Deepak Chopra. Anthony Robbins. Stephen Covey. Right? Ram Charan. Our own Prahlad. Late Mr. Prahlad. 15, 20, 25 names. How many in India? A few. Right? So I like to raise my hand and say, I want to be there.
You want to be there.
Because this economy is moving, right? And
Yes.
and it'll need I'm seeing a future wherein we're going to have 15, 20 brands in each sector.
Okay.
Each sector.
Okay.
Because we are 100 crores, right? Otherwise, where will the young people get employed? It's very serious, right? It's you have 25, 30, 40 crores. I don't know the numbers exactly, but a lot of young people, they need jobs. They're not going to start businesses.
Correct.
And people should not start businesses. Just I want to start a business. They all close down, and then you'll be a nice statistic. 95% of businesses close down in the first year. So the guys who are in existence for 10 years have to step up. And so guess who's going to help them?
Ajwani ki Wani.
One out.
Okay, one lesson that life has taught you.
Not to get unbalanced.
Okay. One thing you'd like to change about yourself?
Oh.
Oh.
I wish, I would like to change. I mean, I've never lived independently, honestly.
Okay.
So always with family.
No hostel
And
also?
No hostel.
Correct.
I mean, I missed that completely due to various family reasons, and I long for that.
Okay.
So I mean, that's an aspiration. So one day, someday, that'll manifest. So stay 1 year out by myself. And actually, I know what I want to do with that. I want to become a sportsman in that 1 year. 1 or 2 years, if I just stay out and get disciplined. I used to play a lot of sports, but I never got anywhere with. I got good, but not great. And I think it's because that discipline or that rigor was not coming in because of balanced life.
Okay.
So I want to unbalance my life one day and try and become a champion.
Day is like 1 day, 2 days, or 1 year?
That discipline that is required is almost like 2 years.
Okay.
I would love to be a veterans champ in table tennis. That's the one sport which has veterans. So that's my target.
So that came to, I think you answered the next question. One thing you have never tried and would like to try to do?
Yeah, live on my own.
Live on your own.
Completely.
Great, okay. Your next life, if you were to live it, who would you like to be? Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Amir Khan, Dhirubhai Ambani? Don't say Kiran Ajwani, okay?
No, then and I can't say Kiran Ajwani, right?
You can't say Kiran Ajwani. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Amir Khan, Dhirubhai Ambani.
Then Amir Khan.
Amir Khan?
Yeah.
You like that wig and all he wears and that?
No, I think it's just a world that is
Yeah, I know,
unknown,
I know.
so
Yeah.
new. The business world थोड़ा अभी
Unbalanced हो गया.
नहीं मतलब वो ये लाइफ में हो जाएगा ना complete
Okay.
जर्नी. So next life में दूसरा field.
Okay. A business coach tip or advice to all the young entrepreneurs out here, which includes Nandu also.
Obviously, he's inspiration for all of us. My advice would be that can you get really actually restart, reboot. The challenges are that just as any computer, you fill up this hard disk, it will slow down, right? So we'll slow down. But there are tools now available, I think, that will allow you to empty the clutter out. And if we do that, then it's like a fresh start. So how can we be excited about the next 20, 30 years, even though we are at age 45 or 50?
They're 30-year-olds also.
Yeah, so how can I behave like a 25-year-old when I'm a 45 or a 50-year-old? So for the ones who are at 25 over here,
Great.
just
They're not married
no
yet.
advice.
They're not married yet.
You don't have to bother.
Okay. Your experience at Jam with Sam. This is the 15th event. You've been coming for a lot of them. What's your experience?
First of all, I would like to say hats off to you.
Thank you.
Because it's not easy to create, something out of nothing. And in that sense, I think you're a true entrepreneur who just creates something out. And now suddenly, after it's 15 months gone by, and you have a semblance of a brand emerging. And so my experience has been very positive. I've continuously met new people over here. And I think the format is great, and I think that it'll just go, just keep taking it somewhere, keep getting the innovation going, and it's something that you might be surprised in a year or two who is sitting out here in the chair with you.
Okay.
Some very, very big people might want to be part of this. That's my wish for you.
Thank you. So there's a 3-year plan and business coach required.
I'm carrying my bill.
Carry on. Fantastic, Kiran.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for Jam with Sam.
Thank you very much
And-
for the patient listening.
That's for you.
Thank you.
So you can have your coffee
Yes.
or your tea. Okay. This is a
Bag for the
bhaji bag.
bag.
Bhaji bag, whatever bag, kids bag. Just designed by Pankaj Gupta over there. And